Welcome back to Modified Fate. This is episode 2, Preparations. Welcome, Kiro and Crop.
Yay.
How you guys doing?
Oh. Good.
Thank
Mostly.
Have a good Christmas and everything?
Yeah. It's weird because school's out right now, so I'm actually getting to enjoy time off, which is weird. Haven't had a job like this before, so.
Yeah, that's fair. Kiro got us some Modified Fate sleeves for our Fate decks.
Oh, they're awesome also.
I like them.
And we recently decided that we're going to Adepticon. You guys excited?
Yes, very. Also, constantly second guessing myself.
That because
I mean, that's not
pieces per model.
That's because I decided that I would get back to my roots, and so I'd play Kurai, and then I had to put together 2 Goryo, and that made me question everything in life. So that pretty much covers that.
So you're playing Rezzers, and Kiro's playing 10 Thunders?
correct.
I'm definitely playing Rezzers.
And you just have the 3, right?
Me?
Yeah.
I'll also have Jackdaw if I have it all put together by then. So I'll have Molly, McMorning, Kurai, and Jackdaw. So a really weird slice, but there it is.
Yeah. Who all will you be taking, Kiro?
I think just Lindley's crew, Misaki, and Yuko. Unless something randomly gets into me before then.
Yeah. And I'll be taking Neverborn, obviously. What I'll be taking is anyone's guess at this point.
He's just going to put it all in a box, and then he'll just reach in the start of every game and go, "Yep, this is what I'm playing this time.
Yeah.
This is fine."
That's the perfect cop out, because then if you lose, you can blame the system, and if you win, well, I don't know.
Exactly. Oh, so with Adepticon comes timed games. How do you feel about that, Crop?
I was trying to think of something witty to say, but I fucking hate it. So, now, just to be clear, like I've had to organize tournaments for a number of games. I've had to do various events for Gen Con, so I understand the necessity. I get that. I understand the necessity, especially in an event like this, of doing time games. Totally get it. I hate it because the only time where I actually felt fluent enough in Malifaux to be able to finish a game in a time limit was like the middle of last edition, and I am definitely not fast enough right now. So I got to get a lot of games in, and I'm bad at getting a lot of games in. So
I've always been a faster pace kind of player, so I'm looking forward to it.
I just need a punching bag to get games in.
Yeah. So what would you expect the time limits per game to be, Crop? Because we have the data from the Texas tournament.
If I had to guess, I'm going to guess 90 minutes.
Well.
Well,
and
good news.
Guess. Good news. Okay.
It's not 90 minutes.
It's not 90 minutes yet. So it was 60 minutes per player. And then 15 minutes for setup.
Okay.
Which is kind of like that other game.
Yeah. And it's not death clock. Once your clock's done, you can't do anything. It's basically non-voluntary actions is all you can do.
You can just respond to things, like something happens and I'll do this trigger because
no, you can't.
You can't trigger like on defense. Yeah. Oh well, that's dumb.
You only basically flip when your opponent needs you to flip.
Yep.
Okay. I guess that makes sense. But at the same time, I'm just like, just make me lose then. I
Well,
shouldn't have to.
if you get up early, then the final couple turns you don't have time, you can still win.
That's fair. I guess the thing is, I need to see how it actually plays out because I have a lot of thoughts in my head, and you're right, it comes from the other game
Right.
and from my experience with other games, but none of it is with this. So yeah.
I've been
That might
asking
be.
the play on clock for a while. All right. So the preparations keyword, the title of this episode, is a tome trigger that gives focused +1. We thought it was fitting since we're preparing for Adepticon. Then we're gonna go over the new strategies, which we've played a couple times now. Would you like to raid the vaults, Crop?
Sure, I can raid the vaults. So after deployment zones are chosen, no, I can't read. I'm incapable of reading. Anyway, after deployment zones are chosen, drop 2 strategy markers centered on the center line, each 4 inches to the right and left of the center point, respectively. Then drop a strategy marker in this centered in the center of each table quarter. They're height 5, blocking and impassable. At the end of each turn, a crew earns a VP if strategy markers it controls are worth more than the VP they've gained from the strategy. You are controlling a strategy marker if you have more models without summon upgrades within 2 inches and line of sight of the marker than the opposing player. Strategy markers on your half of the table are worth 0, on the center line are worth 1, and on your opponent's half are worth 2. So,
Yep. Guard the stash from last edition, just better. Have we played this one yet? I think maybe once.
I know I've played it at least once. Well, I should say I'm pretty sure I played it once. I've definitely played it once.
Yeah,
because I think the one
easily
that I
better
played,
than the last edition, but
the one that I played multiple times is the
Alex.
it's the vote one. Yeah, stuff the ballots.
sure. I think I've played plant explosives against you twice, Crow. It's after deployment, starting with the player with initiative. Each player alternates placing explosive tokens on their deployed models until each player has placed a total of 5 explosive tokens on their models. Minions can have a maximum of 1 explosive token during deployment, while non-minions can have a max of 2 during deployment. Models can gain more explosive tokens during the game, and that is not limited. A friendly controlled model with 1 or more explosive tokens can take the interact action to discard an explosive token and drop a strat marker into base contact with itself. Strategy markers cannot be dropped within 6 inches of another strategy marker. This action cannot be taken if a marker cannot be dropped this way. A friendly control model in base contact with a strategy marker can take the interact action to discard the strategy marker and gain an explosive token. If a model with 1 or more explosive tokens is killed, a model in the opposing crew that is within 3 inches of the killed model may gain the killed model's explosive tokens. Otherwise, they are discarded. At the end of each turn, a crew gains 1 VP if there are more strategy markers on the opponent's table half than this crew has earned VP from this strategy. Strategy markers on the center line count as being in both table halves. When we played it, I think we dropped a total of 1 explosive token.
No, you dropped 2, but the second one was like on the last turn of the game.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, because we spend a lot of time trying to kill things.
Yeah.
So.
You want to take my favorite cloak and dagger, Kuro?
Sure. After After deployment zones are chosen, starting with the defending player, each player alternates creating strategy markers centered on the center line, not within 6 inches of another strategy marker until there are a total of 4 strategy markers on the center line. Strategy markers are concealing. Friendly controlled models within 1 inch of a strategy marker may take the interact action targeting that marker, ignoring line of sight, to gain an intel token. After doing so, the opposing player may place the strategy marker anywhere within 4 inches of its current position. Friendly controlled models within 1 inch and line of sight of an enemy model with an intel token may take the interact action targeting an enemy model to take one of the target's intel tokens, ignoring that model's engagement range. Until the end phase, the target may not take an intel token from this model. At the end of each turn, a crew may discard all intel tokens from any number of friendly models, excluding an insignificant, on the table. A crew gains 1 VP if it discards more intel tokens this turn in this way than it has scored VP for this strategy.
Yeah, this one's easily my favorite. There's a lot of counterplay with taking intel tokens from your enemy. Just fun. Then you can play catch with the marker.
Yeah, I like making the marker move.
Yeah. Have you played this one yet, Crop?
No, that's the one I haven't played. Because I know I played. I'm pretty sure it was when I played against Blackcraft that I played the
you voted
Raid the Vaults, and then I've done a Stuff the Ballots against you, and a Stuff the Ballots against, or no, I did Stuff the Ballots against Blackcraft, and a Stuff the Ballots against Kuro. So, but that's the one I haven't played. I haven't played Plant the Explosives yet.
Or Cloak and Dagger, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah, no, words. They're a problem today.
Do you want to take Stuff the Ballots then? Since you've played it more than me?
Yeah, no, I played it 100% more than you. So after deployment zones are chosen, you create 7 strategy markers. 2 centered on the center line, each touching a different table edge. 1 in the center of each table quarter, 1 centered on the center point. Strategy markers are height 5, blocking, impassable. On every turn after the first, models within 1 inch of a strategy marker may take an interact action to vote. A crew is controlling a strategy marker if it has more friendly vote tokens on the marker than the opposing player. If at any point a strategy marker has a total of 6 vote tokens, friendly and enemy, remove all vote tokens from that strategy marker. At the end of each turn, a crew gains 1 VP if it is controlling more strategy markers, not completely on its own table half, than it has VP from this strategy. And honestly speaking, I really enjoy this one.
The one time I played it, it felt real bad because I got way behind, way too early, and I couldn't get my votes in, basically.
Yeah, I know when Kuro and I played, it was actually pretty even for most of the game, and then the last couple of turns, everything fell apart. So, but that was also just part of that game because his deck took a giant dump on him.
Yeah, that's definitely the way it goes. All right, so our surprise for Crop, we're going to go over his new crew, Kurai. That's... Okay, you don't have to give me a tutorial. Got it. Gotta love free websites.
Still better than a certain someone.
All right.
What website are you using?
malfacrewbuilder.com.
It's the app, but it's just the web version.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I knew you said something about it last time, but I forgot to pin that.
All right. Tell me about Kurai, Crop.
So the first thing about her is, for whatever reason, her parents named her Hate. because Kirai is the Japanese word for hate.
Nice.
Anyway, apart from
Huh.
that, her whole shtick was that she was working at a brothel, specifically the one Yuko owns, and she fell in love with this guy. They were going to run away and be together. It was all wonderful, except that he was the Governor General's son. And so when the Governor General found out, he sent assassins to kill her. Well, because this dude was madly smitten with her, he jumped in front of the bullet and died. And so she got pissed. And now she basically is like the movie The Grudge. She just summons hateful ghosts and stuff. So what she actually does in game is, for this edition, she's the Resurrectionist dedicated summoner. Like, the Resurrectionists as a whole have a lot of summoning in various places, but she has the deepest toolbox and the most options for summoning. And it's a very core part of how she works. But basically what she wants to do,
I see that she doesn't have crows built into her summon. That seems rough.
Well, so as I've seen it explained to me, and I figure that it makes sense, is what you do is you have the Whisper. So, at the start of her turn, you're going to look at the top 3 cards. You're going to see what crow you have. You're going to put that up there, and then that will determine what you can summon.
Oh, okay.
If you really need something, then you can stone for it. It used to be that she had some triggers on her summon, and you would stone to do really weird stuff, like summon something 12 inches away from her. But she doesn't do that anymore. But basically, she's going to summon stuff. She attaches her upgrade to it, which the upgrade actually upgrades them. It's actually like it's one of the few summons where it's not just a downside. But what it does is it gives you that desperate grudge. So they have a crow built into all of their melee attacks. All of the Urami have a trigger on their melee attacks with a crow that if they kill something, they heal her.
Mm-hmm.
This is because of the thing right above that, which is at the start of this model's activation, she takes a damage. So as she summons stuff, she's going to be taking damage. So she's constantly doing a hit point yo-yo.
Yeah, and she wants to keep adversary out there with damage too.
Yep. And that's the 2 big things with her are she wants adversary to make all of her her ghosts efficient, and then she wants to summon selected ghosts back. The really cool part about Blood and Wind is that she can get back her totem. She actually has an 8-point totem that's resummonable. And it does irreducible damage. So its melee attack does.
She can't summon her.
Yeah, she can. Yeah, she can.
That?
It's on the totem.
Oh, Kirai's Soul.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yep. Both versions of Kirai can summon her, but the title does it slightly different. The standard one, she can use Blood and Wind, and because of Kirai's Soul, it counts as a minion. It also doesn't count as the once per turn.
Mm-hmm.
So she can summon Ikirio back, and then she can summon someone else if she needs to. And Ikirio is fantastic. The only downside is Ikirio has 3 defense.
Yeah, Ikirio seems really good. Yeah.
But it's incorporeal, it's terrifying, and it has vengeance. And when you remove it, she's just going to bring it back.
Yeah, and
like that's
irreducible damage in melee. Yeah.
Irreducible damage that can heal itself if she kills something. So like, oh, and did you see that she has Onslaught on her Death Touch?
Yep.
So, yeah, no, Ikirio is awesome. She's fantastic.
Pretty solid.
But yeah, you're expecting her to die during the game, and you're expecting to bring her back. So the other things Kurai has is her crew has a surprising amount of healing. So on her card, she has Soothe Spirit, which is another key, like any other keyword model of hers. Heals 1, 2, 3, and then it has 2 really good triggers. One of which being the aforementioned preparations. But as preparations and This Will Numb the Pain, which are both great. And then her ranged attack. Her ranged attack has really good triggers on it. It ignores friendly fire. It's 12 inches against willpower. And then it's 2, 3, 4. But Mark Soul. So, yeah, it can give adversary. It can force one of her models to make a melee attack, or if it kills them, you can get a Gaki. So she has multiple ways of summoning right off the bat. Her big weakness is that she has defense 4, and she has no hard to wound, no incorporeal, no armor.
Oh, she's protected.
Yeah, I was going to say her defense tech is protected. That's what she has. But you'll notice that she doesn't have a thing on here that draws cards.
Yeah.
So she can be resource intensive. And there are things that are going to want to use cards. So that's where she's weak. She does have 12 hit points. She does have a lot of ways to heal. She is still a master, so you can stone, you can do all sorts of stuff. And she does have vengeance, which is really useful in an odd set of circumstances. But she's not like McMorning, where he has, hard to wound and like 12 wounds and heals whenever he hits someone. There's the other Reser Masters, except for Molly, are all going to be tougher than her. They just have more defensive tricks.
Yeah. It's quite the toolbox of summons that I can see here.
Oh, she has a lot of summons. So the big thing they talk. Okay, so you pulled up the Drowned.
Yeah, it was just at the top of the list.
Well, so the Drowned are amazing for her because they're normally speed 4, but she can summon them within 6 inches of her, so she can get them into a good place. And projectile vomit plus Riptide is stupid. Projectile vomit throws out lots of blasts. Riptide says whenever they throw out a blast, once per turn they can turn one of them into a 50 mil hazardous damage and staggered marker.
Yeah.
And
make
those guys
mysterious emissaries.
Yeah. No, they're really good. And they're hard to wound. The big thing with her crew is that other than her, everything ignores terrain. She does not give a shit about terrain. Because all of her spirits are incorporeal. The Drowned have Depths of Malifaux, so they're unaffected by severe and hazardous. So,
their gun targets move and their bonus action staggers. Pretty good.
Yeah. Yep. And in melee, you can't declare triggers against them. So, well, when you attack them, you can't declare triggers.
Where's that?
Combat finesse.
Oh, that's can't cheat.
Can't cheat. Sorry. I was thinking of a different model. You can't declare triggers. But can't cheat is pretty solid.
Yeah, it's very good. Enslaved spirits.
So these are ones I need to get. But they're fantastic for 3 points.
Like walking scheme markers.
And then they also have Chain Gang. So they can force extra movement on people. And then when they die, they drop ski markers. They are ridiculously good with her title.
Oh, they're not insignificant either. Yeah.
No, they're not. They're good. So they're also versatile. So any Reser can run them.
Gotcha. And I already looked at the Gaki a little bit. They're very vanilla.
The Gaki are nice because they're really cheap and they do fair damage. Their stat is only 5. But if you actually get 2 of them, pulling off coordinated assault, you can get a lot of attacks. But their whole shtick is they eat corpse tokens.
Yeah, and they take them, which is good.
Yeah, so they can heal. They only have 4 hit points, so it's not like you can't just overwhelm them and pop them. But if you don't, they're gonna eat some corpse tokens and they'll be fine. So, and they're also only 4 points.
Yeah, they're probably the best instance of vengeance I've seen so far. Because incorporeal and they heal.
My favorite vengeance is later.
Okay. Your favorite, the Gorio. You've been enjoying putting them together.
I really like them. I hated putting them together. So they're incorporeal. They have frenzied charge. So they can charge multiple times in a turn, which can be nice. It's not as if they had a melee reach of 2, it'd be better. But it's pretty good. Their demise ability gives out adversary. So these are a prime target for her summoning. Because you don't these aren't guys that you're going to have doing your schemes or strategies. These are guys that you're going to have beating face.
Yeah.
And so their sword is awesome because it has 3 triggers on it, all of which are good. But I'd say the main one you're usually looking for is probably puncture.
Yeah. The crow heals Curai also.
Yep. That Feast of Vengeance is something on basically all of the ghosts.
Oh, okay.
And because her upgrade gives the crow, they can automatically do it if she summoned them with Blood and Wind.
That's good.
It has Mark of Vengeance, which is situationally baller.
Really good into Castor, yeah.
Target cannot heal. And then it has the built-in trigger to make them an adversary.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't need to make them an adversary, you can on your heels with a bonus action, which is stellar.
That is definitely Kuro's least favorite trigger, by the way.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because it's on candy.
Candy's bullshit.
That's also fair. Violent Ghosts is its other bonus action, which is just a 3 pulse, willpower 13 duel, or suffer 2/3/4 damage with a negative flip.
Yeah, tactical actions that deal damage are always good.
Well, and also if you bunched a bunch of people up, Kurai can summon him within 6 inches, and then we'll pulse. And it doesn't hit my own guys; it only hits enemies.
Yeah, it gets around incorporeal on the ones you damage to.
Yep, absolutely. It's really so. Those guys are really good. They are just a nightmare to put together. Okay, this is my favorite vengeance.
Take the hit, vengeance 2. Yeah, I can see that.
Okay, so evidently, take the hit and vengeance 2 don't work together.
Oh, because it wasn't targeted initially? Or?
Yes, because it wasn't targeted initially.
Interesting.
That being said, it has 7 hit points and Vengeance 2 and Incorporeal.
Yeah.
And then you'll notice its tactical action, it has Trail of Gore. This is a guy that you can randomly summon to just go, oh, you're trying to scheme. No.
Yeah.
No, you're not. I will eat that. And also it has Threaten, which so this guy's also versatile, but it has Threaten, so you can make them an adversary of any keyword. And give them Staggered, which if that's not setting you up to die. The only thing more than that is like injured.
They're medium bases too. I didn't see that at first.
And then its melee attack is solid.
Yeah, with the Feast of Vengeance trigger again and tear off a bite. Pretty good.
And like I said, Kirai has heals, and other people in her crew have heals for her Urami. So yeah, it has take the hit, 7 hit points, and then you can heal it. And then if you no, I don't want you taking the hit anymore. If you actually go after it, it has Vengeance too.
Yeah.
I really like them. Unfortunately, they're in the other side box, which I haven't got yet.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, and the Onryo. You're also your favorite killer in Dead by Daylight?
Basically, yeah. So the Onryo are they're what can I say? They feel real nice for 5 points.
Yeah, they're little girls that drowned in a well a long time ago.
So they have Vengeance, which is great. They have Incorporeal, which is great. They have the Demise to give people Adversary, which is great.
Oh, their gun is crazy good.
Their gun is really good. And they have Mark of Vengeance, which is also the cannot heal, but it also has the built-in Adversary. And then their melee attack is good, because either you have that Feast of Vengeance trigger or you have Puncture.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're stat 5, so
it's a cheap model, though. Yeah.
you want to land the adversary condition somewhere, because then they become very efficient.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they're
How
nice.
many more ghosts does she have? Good lord.
Oh gosh.
These are
At least a couple
cheap.
more. Okay, so these guys cost 2. They're insignificant. They're mindless. They have expendable, so when they die, you draw a card. But the real reason you play them
I see.
is spiritual healing and guide spirit. If you start your activation within 2 of them, you heal 1. So that includes Kirai, because she's an Urami.
Yeah. And then they need 7 to make a Urami model take a walk action with a tome to end a condition.
So basically, you pay 2 points to have a model to make Kirai walk, so she doesn't have to do it herself.
Yeah, that's fair.
No, I mean, obviously, it's that walk is good on a lot of things, but if nothing else, you make Kirai walk.
Mm-hmm.
Also, they're really useful because Kirai has protected, so you can make them take the hit for her, and it's like, yep, you killed this model, I get my card back.
Yep, very good. Shikome.
I think this is the last one.
They are super fast.
They are indeed. So these ones aren't incorporeal, but they have flight. So once again, we don't care about terrain really. Their whole thing is that they're meant to hunt down something and kill it, so then they can get their upgrade. Their upgrade gives them adaptable, I think it is. So they get to pick a suit at the start of each of their activations that they just have.
Oh, okay.
And then if you look, if they pick Ram, then their attack has puncture, and their attack is 2, 3, 6.
Mm-hmm. And they get rip and tear on challenge.
And they get rip and tear off their challenge.
Pretty cool. I was going to say they seem like pretty good schemers, but they don't have any defensive stuff.
They're a fair schemer in the sense that flight and 7 speed, and then you do something like a Shashin and you make them walk so they can get extra movement. Like, you can get them places, but they are not a dedicated schemer. Mm-hmm. They are a cruise missile. So.
Oh, and this is their upgrade. Gives adaptive. Yep.
So it's whenever they kill a model, they get to get that upgrade. So.
Did we do Enslaved Spirit? Lost Love. And you get cheap enforcers too. One thing I don't
So
like in Neverborn, all my enforcers are 6+.
Lost Love is the body of her former fiance, but she hasn't been able to bring him back to life quite yet.
Gotcha.
So it has 2 willpower, which is fucking terrible. That said, it has protected and nihilism, so it's not as bad as it seems. He has by your side, so he really wants to discard cards. But by your side has some awesome potential. When he dies, he haunts, which is also great. But really, he's all about dispel magic and soothe spirit. He can actually heal Karai.
Okay.
He can also do burnout to give people fast.
Yeah, I'm well acquainted with that trigger. It's very good.
Both of his triggers are actually really good on that. Because you got to think he has by your side.
Yeah, pulse.
So he can like teleport and then heal someone and pulse remove markers.
Yep.
I mean, he's really probably, let's be honest, only going to be able to do that once, because then he's sticking himself out there and he's going to get his head chopped off.
I mean, he has 6 hit points. That's fine.
He does. But he doesn't have... Oh, this is the other model that actually cares about terrain.
Yeah.
But he has by your side, so he doesn't care about terrain.
Yeah. Then we have the 8-point enforcer, Jakuna Ubume.
Ubume. So she's specifically, when you talk about the ghost of someone who drowned in a well, that's her.
Okay.
Yep. She's this ghost that lures people into water and drowns them. So she has vengeance, which is great. Serene countenance, which is
also great.
Yep. Incorporeal, solid. She has torment because she also works for Jackdaw.
Yeah.
Which is if she damages an enemy model that has an attached upgrade, at the end of her activation, she'll draw a card. So, it's gravy when it works. The big thing...
7-stat lure. Yep.
That's what I was going to say. The big thing with her is she's a 7-stat lure. And then you have the 7-stat lure and drowning aura. She makes a 3-inch bubble around her, and she's a 50 mil base.
Oh, yeah, I just saw that.
So 3-inch around her is all hazardous terrain. So you walk in, take a damage. You try and walk out, take a damage.
Yeah.
You try and swing on her while you're next to her, take a damage.
And projected voice again, which is just a solid ranged attack.
Did you see the trigger?
Yeah, the trigger is amazing too.
Yeah, she's a movement monster, is what she is. Because she has movement on everything, basically. Tear apart, projected voice, lure, all move people.
Yeah, and you're coming with me on her melee.
Yep. That's you're coming with me. Projected voice with mass hysteria. So she's great. I'm a big fan.
Oh, and our first henchman, Datsuba.
Datsueba. So I'm trying to remember what she is in Japanese mythology, but if I remember right, she's basically like death.
Oh, okay.
Like she comes for you. It's kind of it's like a Baba Yaga sort of thing. It's a little different. I'd have to look her up again. Anyway, in this, she's speed 6, which is baller. She has vengeance, terrifying, incorporeal, great. Lantern of Souls.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah.
In Rezzers, they have Manos, and Manos is stupid good. And part of why he's stupid good is the Lantern of Souls. But she also has it, and she's in keyword.
Yeah.
So then she has a skinning knife, which is stat 7. she has a trigger that says you can't soulstone against it.
Yeah.
Which is no good until it is. Like, there's very specific circumstances where that's really good, but it can be. And then her other trigger on her melee attack is get a soulstone.
After killing, yeah.
Yeah, after killing, that's key. So they're very situational, but like if you get them, that's great. But really, I feel like her value is in Wei Sen's and Guide Spirit. Because Wei Sen's is a 2/3/5 ranged attack. If they have adversary, you get a plus flip. And then she can give them adversary with her tome trigger and her mask trigger. If you kill them, you get an Onryo.
Mm-hmm.
So more summoning. And then Guide Spirit is the same thing from the Sheishin. Only her stat is twice as good.
Yeah, and it has a good trigger.
And her trigger is great. So she can turn that walk into a charge.
Yep, which I've played enough of Marcus to know that that's amazing.
Yeah, no, it's real good.
Those are just versatile. Okay, that looks like that's all her keyword. Did I miss somebody?
Other than her title, you hit the whole keyword.
Okay, we'll go back and look at her title now.
So her title is also a summoner, but she does it different. It's all about the ability. Wait, did they change the name of it? They did. It's all about Chain Spirit, which is after an action, which an enemy model within 8 inches is moved through by a friendly Urami model of cost 5 or more. If the enemy model has not failed a duel from Chain Spirit this turn, it must pass a TN12 willpower duel, or this model may summon an Urami minion of cost 4 or less into base contact with it. And if it's not mindless, it gains slow. So instead of taking actions to summon now
it just happens when you move through people.
As you move through people, yep.
Which is crazy.
Now, so this used to be better. It used to not have the 8-inch restriction, and it used to work on any Urami model.
Oh, okay.
So you could snowball with it really fucking hard.
So can she not summon her totem back?
She can. Vengeance Incarnate lets her summon her totem back.
Yeah, but it costs 8 instead of 4 or less.
No. Vengeance Incarnate is her bonus action.
Oh, gotcha.
She can do Thirst for Vengeance on someone, and then if you get the trigger, it'll let you do Vengeance Incarnate, and then summon Ikirio right there. Mm-hmm. So she can get Ikirio back. It's still really good. Also, Urami models within 8 of her can treat crows as any suit.
Yeah, that's crazy strong.
So all of those triggers that we saw that were masks that were really good, well, now they trigger on half your deck instead of a quarter. Mm-hmm. And then she has Revenge, which is if you have adversary Urami within 8 inches of her, you get a negative twist on willpower duels generated by her or friendly Ikirio, which remember Ikirio has Terrifying. Or if you are targeting her, if you're targeting Kirai, you get a negative twist if you have an adversary.
It doesn't have melee. She definitely seems a lot more fragile in this version.
Yeah. She's relying a lot on that negative flip to duels. And Anchor to Reality, which is when a friendly Irami within 8 inches would heal. You can have a different one heal, so you can have her heal.
Yeah.
Also, though, she has a lot more movement with this. So you look at Swirling Spirits. It's an 8-inch bubble. You target any number of other friendly Irami models, and the TN for this action is the total cost of all of them. You push each one up to 5 inches in any direction, ignoring models and terrain, as long as they end their push within 8 inches of her. And then if you have a ram, you can make one of them take a melee action. If you have a mask, Kirai gets to push 5 inches. Yeah. So she can get out of sticky situations. And then into Mist, she can use that to heal herself. But whoever she heals, the area within 3 inches of them has concealing.
Yep. Enemy sided concealment also.
Yeah, enemy. Yeah, that's true. Even better. The other thing is the Sundering, which they had to cap. It used to have no upper limit, which is stupid.
Yeah, they capped most of those things now.
Yeah, but it's 1, 2, 3 damage, and they suffer +1 damage for each Irami engaging them. So basically, it can be 3, 4, 5, which is pretty solid. And then My Loyal Servant, you can have another model heal.
Yeah, I don't think she's as good as the first one, but she's definitely interesting.
I think she's probably as good as the first one. She just plays way different.
Well, the first one can summon the 8-point minion. That's why I think it's better.
No, that's fair. That's fair. I will definitely say that since before her nerf, she was undeniably better, and one of the things that was great about her was that the few matches where she had that were terrible, you could just take regular Kirai, and regular Kirai could do okay.
Yeah.
And so that's a nice thing, is that they cover for each other a bit.
So any versatiles or out of keyword that you're looking at to play with her?
At the moment, not really. Any out of I mean, nurses are always a possibility because tools for the job and what is it?
Bottle of
painkillers are really good.
Yeah. I will never not love tools for the job.
Bedside Manner is pretty good too. Being able to pull people out and then quick cure. Because one of the ways to deal with Incorporeal is to put conditions on them.
Mm-hmm.
And I have stuff to remove conditions, so that's not a problem per se. But like I said, I'm finding that nurses to me always seem like they could be worthwhile. So I'm definitely down with that. Game. What?
You can't count our game.
I am not counting that game. Not with.
What happened?
So what happened was the zombie chihuahua attacked them to poison them. I red jokered the damage. So it took 4 damage right off the bat, and then Kuro shot it with a sniper. I got the black Joker, and then and then he red jokered the damage. So literally, one nurse in one turn ate 3 Jokers, and died. And I never got to use her that game.
Nice.
Yeah, and I wouldn't have taken that shot if he didn't already put 4 damage on her.
Yeah. No. And he just to be clear, he was at a negative twist to attack me. If I didn't have the black Joker, I would not have gotten hit.
So it was great.
So what kind of list are you looking to build with Kirai right now?
It's tough. It's tough to say. I know So from where I'm thinking right now is I want at least one Sheshin. Because there's nothing more embarrassing than having to pay a hit point to keep a 2-point model in play. So I don't want to summon them.
It's interesting you only have one henchman. That feels weird.
I mean, theoretically, I could play Greed because he fasts people. That's pretty cool. Not Greed, Sloth.
Sloth.
Greed is the Bayou one.
There's some
Sloth
iron.
is the.
Gotcha. Yep.
I think it's Resting in the Blues. You can fast someone, so.
Target gains slow and heals 3.
Oh, that's not the one. Which one's the...
If the target is a friendly undead model, it instead gains
Rigor
slow.
Mortis. Yeah. That's the one. Yep. It's a friendly undead model. Oh, wait. That doesn't work with most of mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not
Ghosts
undead.
aren't undead.
I have very few undead.
I would like to point out that we're like, oh, we're all going to go to Adepticon. So we got to be in crunch time to paint everything and get games in. And Crop picks the most deep pool he can possibly pick.
Oh, that's untrue. I could have decided to go Big Hat. If I was going Bayou. But that's about the only way I would have more models to deal with than this.
Yeah, that's true.
So I'm a masochist, but I'm also trying to get back to my roots because she's the model that got me started in Malifaux.
Yeah.
When she first dropped, I was like, okay, I'm fucking in.
Listen, models that get you into the game are not always good models. Let's just leave that there.
That's fair. But she was busted back then. And as far as I know, she's still good now. She seems good. I'm going to have fun.
What are your overall thoughts, Kuro, on the Urami keyword?
Well, for those who don't know, I sold Resurrectionists to Crop, and Urami was on my list of things I wanted to play. So I'm interested to see how they play on the table and see if I hate playing against them as much as I wanted to play them.
Incorporate is very strong, so I'm sure it'll be good.
Yeah, and I'm not playing Guild, so I can't just ignore it.
Yeah. All right.
Or am
All right, we actually have a listener question this week from Drogan.
Oh boy.
What is everyone's preferred opening hand?
Black Joker. Yeah, I don't care about the rest. Honestly, if I'm playing Kurai, I want one big crow, and I want the Black Joker. So
same for Misaki.
Yeah, it's very crew dependent. You need to know what your target numbers are, minus your stats, so you know what cards to keep and what triggers that you're looking for. So like Titania, who I pulled up, she needs a 2 of masks for her bonus action, which is not something you would commonly keep in your hand. Basically high cards and cards that hit your target numbers.
yeah, she wants what, a 2 and a 5 of masks?
Yeah.
But never born or bad.
Some people like holding on to the Black Joker. I don't really subscribe to that. But.
I just want to have it on that opening turn so that it doesn't with my summon.
Yeah.
That's my big thing there.
Of course, I also play a lot of Ancient Pact, so I ignore it on 1 or 2 models.
Okay, so honestly, this is one of the reasons I'm excited to play Jackdaw, is because of the Hanged. Because they have an ability where they treat the Black Joker as a Red Joker, and people who work against them treat the Red Joker as a Black Joker. So
yeah, they're the only model with that ability.
And I'm like,
I think you have the name wrong.
No, they're called the Hanged.
I just looked up Hanged and it didn't show anybody. Oh, I'm in upgrades, that's why.
Okay, good. I was like, no, I swear to God, they are called the Hanged.
operator error.
Forever doomed.
Yeah, it's like an 8-point minion or something like that.
Yep.
A
8-point
console stone.
minion. The console stone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was on my list of reasons why I wanted to play that stuff.
But yeah, he's for Jackdaw.
Yeah, he seems good.
But yeah, no. There's a lot of cool stuff you can do. I just think it's hilarious. The number of times in the one game we played where you kept hitting the Black Joker and you kept forgetting that you got to ignore the Black Joker.
Yeah, that's always been a learning curve.
That was fun. That was fun.
All right, I think that's it for us today. Keep in mind, we are still very new. Let us know if we messed anything up. And we'll see you next time on the Modified Fate podcast.